So I'm finally back, and the reaction to my return may be different depending on who's watching. I've been getting a lot of messages from people throughout the past few months, especially those who don't follow me on Twitter, thinking I've either stopped producing videos or that I'd been ISIS'd. Now, neither of those are true. My head is still attached to my body and I haven't decided to stop either. The main reason for being away this long has been work. I've been averaging around 70 hours a week in the past few months since my last video, and unfortunately that is not going to improve anytime soon. If I add the commute, that number would be in the 80s, and I can't really divulge into what I do for work yet. Obviously, I can't pin the blame entirely on work. I realise I could have done more, even with the limited time I've had, but I didn't want to just do something that was brief and not thoroughly researched. So I've created a couple of second channels, one in English only and one in Arabic only. I will link to the English one in the description box, and it's called TMA, which obviously stands for the Masked Arab. Pause the video, find the link in the description, then go over and subscribe and put the notification bell on too if you want to make sure you don't miss anything. This channel will keep going and it will continue to be the place where I do hard debunking and just generally the better quality stuff. Only English videos on this channel that aren't announcements like this one will be charged to the very generous patrons out there. I think having TMA as a second channel is crucial given how censorship and false flagging is rampant on YouTube. But it will also enable me to do simpler, unscripted videos a bit more frequently than what I can currently manage to do on the main channel. Maybe I can react to some videos too, or do short videos on random hadiths and Quranic verses. I can also maybe re-upload short videos I see around that may be of interest to the topic of Islam. Oh, and I'm also considering doing a hangout at least once a month on that second channel, where I invite Muslims to come on, where they can debate me and other atheists and try to provide evidence that Islam is legit. It'd be good in my opinion to have an Islam-focused setup similar to the atheist experience. I'm aware of the Gin and Tonic show, which serves a similar purpose, but they got shut down a while ago. They are now back up and running, but I'm not sure how many callers they managed to get on. Another backup measure I'm taking because of YouTube's unreliable nature is setting up a channel on Minds.com, which is still a very small platform, but one that appears to care about freedom of speech and where my content should always be safe. I still haven't really learned how to use it properly and it's nowhere near as popular as YouTube, but I'll be uploading everything there too. I would encourage others to join it, as it'd be nice to see a platform that cares about free speech begin to rival the established social media platforms, which are unfortunately run by regressives who often try to silence any legitimate criticism of Islam as an ideology. Now, I want to do a few shoutouts to channels that should definitely have more subscribers and a larger audience. Some of them are actually larger than mine already, but they are so good it'd be worth mentioning them for anyone who may not yet have heard of them. If you like what I do, then you will really like these channels. Apologies in advance if you have a channel that deserves way more attention and I've missed you off this list. But feel free to tell us about your channel or someone else's you feel needs more viewers in the comments below. Also, if you understand Arabic, I give totally different shoutouts on the Arabic version of this video, so make sure to check out both if you're looking for Arabic content too. The first channel I want to mention is the Rationalizer. This man does some really good work. It's unfortunately few and far between, and believe it or not, he actually uploads less frequently than I do. So go over to his channel, subscribe, and hassle him for more content. I know he's working on a video at the moment, but many people often ask me for a video on embryology in the Quran, and I always recommend they go and see his video on the subject. I'll link to it in the description box.
The question, how did Muhammad miraculously only pick the Galenic teachings which were correct and leave out his errors, is often used by Islamic apologists. That this counter-argument has no bearing on the fact that we have already proven these verses are not a miracle is completely ignored. In a very short piece of text, the Quran says the same thing that Galen said also in a very short piece of text, and Galen was wrong. This miracle claim itself is an example of Muhammad copying incorrect information, and an example of apologists reinterpreting the words to try to make them correct.
That takes me to another YouTuber who has another fantastic video on embryology in the Quran. It's an Egyptian by the name of Sherif Gaber, and while his videos are in Arabic, he always creates English subtitles for them, and his content is really good. You have to check him out.
يا ابني افهم قول حاجة واحدة بس تستحق عشان انك تخش الجنة. ايوه افتكرت خلاص. انا كنت بدعو الناس للهداية. ناس مين؟ الناس كل الناس طالما انت طبعا هتهديهم معناته انت شايف نفسك افضل منهم. مش انا مسلم يعني احسن امه خرجت للناس. مش انتوا الامه برضو اللي كانت مشهوره بانها بتشرب بول الجمال وبتقتل الناس وبترجم البنات ومشهورين بتفجير نفسكم ومشهورين بالتعصب والارهاب؟ خير امه. ابو جبري النبي ركز معايا كده شويه. الشخص اللي انا كنت كلمتك عليه من شويه ده بقول لك بيقول كل اللي كان مهم في الحياه ان هو بيعمله ان هو اتولد لقى نفسه مسلم وكان عمال يقرا قران ليل نهار وكان عمال يردد ادعيه واذكار صباح ومساء. ما ينفعش. ايه مفيش اسباب مقنعه. يعني ايه مفيش اسباب مقنعه؟ قول لنفسك. طب قول له ان كان مطول دقنه. طيب بيقول لك ان هو كان مطول دقنه. طيب قول له طيب انه كان بيخش حمام برجله الشمال وبياكل بايده اليمين. تقول يا ابني قول له بس مالكش دعوه. طب بيقول لك ان هو كان بيخش حمام برجله الشمال وبياكل بايده اليمين. طب قول له طيب ان كان ليل نهار بيخش على صفحات اليهود ويشتمهم. وكان ليل نهار بيخش على صفحات اليهود ويشتمهم والنصارى والشيعة والبوذيين والملحدين. طب والنبي قول له كان على طول بيمسك المصحف. طب بيقول لك طيب انه كان دايما بيمسك المصحف. يقول لك حطه في طب هو المفروض اعمل ايه طيب؟ ولا عايش ليه انا؟ يا عم انا نفسي عايش ليه؟ I'm sorry man. طب سلم لنا على كان بيقول ان هو طلع لنا ببغله.
Next, I want to mention Theramin Trees. His style is very useful if you have a theist who is getting defensive. He's very calm and really on point, arguing more from a philosophical perspective rather than ripping apart a religious text. One of my favourite videos of his is actually very short, but I think it's perfect for pretty much all apologists to ponder on. It argues that if a religion needs lengthy explanations and apologetics in order to try and prove its validity, it's an impossible ask to expect humans with their limited lifespan to find it.
You're out in the middle of nowhere. You're told the truth is out there, you just have to search for it. There's a bewildering number of signposts around you, each claiming to be the right way. You pick a direction, or more likely have it pick for you, and start walking. You walk for miles, but there are no gods. Occasionally you meet people along the way who say you chose the right direction, although they can never say how far you have to go. After many miles, the truth finally dawns on you. There are people in every single direction who will tell you exactly the same thing. Their path is the right one, and you just have to keep walking. It now becomes clear the task is impossible. You have a limited number of years in your life. You could spend them all walking in the same futile direction. You could spend them all trying multiple futile directions, and obviously the length of time you spend on each journey is divided by the number of directions you try. It's impossible to investigate every idea in any depth, so requiring any depth of investigation sets an impossible condition. What's being proposed is a game of pure chance. You could say my atheism is a refusal to play an impossible game.
Another one I need to give attention to is Imam Brother. He used to be known as Stop Spamming, and then YouTube shut his channel down, even though he was clearly within their guidelines. All his effort had gone down the drain. But if you hate how YouTube does that to creators, then make sure you subscribe to this guy. We need to get his channel back up and growing. He does a lot of videos debunking Muslim apologists. That takes us to another YouTube who was recently banned, but luckily managed to get it overturned. Who hasn't heard of Sye Ten? A very skillful animator with lots of funny videos on religions and other matters. He has great videos on Islam, but I'm sure most of you have seen them already. But if you haven't, you're really missing out. Now, his channel has been reinstated on YouTube, but he also opened up an account on Minds.com, so I'll leave a link to that and his YouTube channel in the description.
How many times do we have to do this? 50 times a day. 50 times a day! What the fuck? And what do you want me to do about it? Ride some sort of magic flying horse up to heaven? Step up to the creator of the universe and be all like, yo, my crew are too fucking lazy to tell you how merciful you are like 50 times a day. So how about we cut it down to like 5 times a day or whatever? Really? Would you do that? Even if I could do that, nobody in their right mind would ever believe me. And do we have to get washed every single time we pray? No. Not every time. You only need to perform wudu if you've had a piss or a shit, or if you farted or thrown up or whatever since the last time you made salah.
The next channel on the list is Irish Infidel. This guy does simple videos with just text on screen accompanying pictures or video, but he knows the Quran very, very well and plucks verses out of nowhere to make his point. I highly recommend this guy. In one video, he looks at an Islamic apologist and shows how this man debunks his own argument.
But this guy, because he wants to prove that he has a point, so he says, yeah, in the 7th century, Muhammad was living in the desert and he believed in the flat earth. Wow. Unbelievable, yeah? Because he wants to make his point, because he's going to claim that the Quran says the earth is flat, yeah? So, first of all, we said there's not a single verse in the Quran which says the earth, the shape of the earth is flat. Okay? Yes?
So, going back to what you were saying before, is the idea, what you said that people say that the mountains do move and Quran says mountains don't move. Is that another allegation against
No, Quran doesn't say mountains don't move. What does it say?
What you were addressing before?
Yeah, Quran says, for example, وَالْجِبَالَ أَوْتَادًا. Like, let's say this is in Surah Al-Naba. It says, أَلَمْ نَجْعَلِ الْأَرْضَ مِهَادًا. Like, did we not like make the earth like mihada? Same meaning as madadna, stretched, but mihada is like a place where you can live, it's again like habitable. Like a flat surface.
Next we have Abdullah Sameer, an ex-Muslim who used to be really hardcore. I mean, just look at this picture. Abdullah was very devout and committed to his faith, but he also had intellectual honesty and allowed evidence to change his position. He's a very sensible man with a growing channel and deserves your support. He has lots of videos, and I've linked to one of his videos which I found very funny. It's called Prophet Muhammad Explains Stuff.
Why does a child look like a mother or a father? You must wonder that. How come sometimes a kid looks like the mom, sometimes looks like a dad? There's a good explanation for that too. Prophet Muhammad is going to tell us. It depends who has an orgasm first. And this is in Bukhari. And if a man's discharge preceded that of the woman, then the child will resemble the father. And if the woman's discharge preceded that of the man, then the child resembles the mother. And this is in Bukhari. Prophet Muhammad, you heard it first from him. It's not about genetics. It's about who has an orgasm first. Whose liquid comes first, the man or the woman? Again, does Prophet Muhammad seem to understand science here? Can we trust him? Can we trust the hadith collections? If we trust the hadith collections, can we trust the Prophet? That he's receiving information from Allah? I don't know.
Also, there's a good channel which produces comedic content. Veedu Vidz puts out good videos impersonating some well-known Muslim apologists like Zakir Naik or extreme clerics like Abu Halima. He has good videos on those I'll link to.
Have you ever thought of becoming a sheikh but didn't know how? Well, look no further. You'll be on the way to sheikhdom in 5 easy steps.
Step 3. Pick a persona. Will you be the scary sheikh?
Wallahi, it is haram, bid'ah and shirk. Brothers and sisters, if you do not repent, you are going to hell.
The spiritual sheikh. The reformed rude boy preacher.
I was a gangster back in the days, but now when I see your righteous sister, I lower my gaze. Subhanallah. Back in the days, I was imitating the kuffar in it. But now I'm on the deen, the Siratul Mustaqim. Everybody say, Ameen.
The quota, aka Shakeopedia.
In chapter 17, verse 5, the Quran says. In chapter 7, verse 72, the Quran says.
Or the funny sheikh.
And that's how I met my second wife.
Step 4. Sound Arabic for no reason.
Hello, how are you doing? Hi, do you know the directions to Aldgate Station?
Aki, can I have one coffee, please?
How would you like your coffee?
Black.
Can
can I have some sesame seeds, please? Hi. Uh-oh.
Anyways, those are the shoutouts over. I'm nearly done with this video, but bear with me. I've just got a couple of more things I want to mention quickly. Some of you may have noticed that my Patreon account got a healthy bump recently. It has recently surpassed the milestones I set for it when I first set up the channel, but those were set when I calculated I'd be doing at least a video a week, and now, needless to say, my estimate was way off. I never really wanted to change the milestones on the Patreon page because I thought people might get annoyed, but I think I probably should. I could have started producing content that was simple, like reaction videos, but I didn't want to be charging anyone for simple things like that. My Patreon will continue to only charge for videos done on this channel, or any video that takes considerable time and effort to put together. I hope to one day be able to switch it to a per month setup instead of per video, but I don't want to do that unless I'm uploading a lot more frequently, to ensure patrons get a lot back for their buck. So anyways, what's next? I have a video coming soon on my second channel, which fans of the TV show The Walking Dead will probably like. It looks at the pretty evil character of Negan, and the striking similarities between him and Muhammad. I'll be putting it on the second channel and on minds.com, just to try and avoid a needless strike on my main channel. Now, one of those similarities between Negan and Muhammad is the idea of jizya. So for those who wouldn't want to watch the Walking Dead video for fear of spoilers, I'll make an alternative, which is a video explaining jizya in quite some detail, to be released at the same time as the Negan one, but on this main channel. And after that, I'll get back to working on a series I want to do on Islam and women, which will tackle matters like FGM, how women were treated before Islam, wife beating, etc. Apologies for being away this long, and I hope I can keep you a little more occupied on the second channel, especially when I take really long breaks from the main channel due to work and time spent researching material. So make sure to sub over there and on Minds too as a protective measure. And I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.